Alan, another shootout win back-to-back. Talk to us about that game, back and forth against a big rival. What were your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, 6-point weekends, it's something we haven't had all season, and it's a huge moment in the season where we needed it. I thought we clearly didn't have our best game tonight, but we found a way to, hang in there under some strange conditions, some horrible officiating, and we found a way to stick with it. Got the lead and gave it back, and find a way in a shootout. So sometimes it's a sign of a team coming together a little bit when you can find those points when you don't play your best by far.
I was going to see it seemed like a full team effort, full four lines kind of going tonight, and that's got to be really important.
Yeah, I thought Nick played an excellent game. Mitch Young comes back after being out for 2 games because of an injury and plays real well. We've got his 16-year-old Carter steps up and grabs a hold of a guy and when he needs to, and some guys go down, but we stick together. Dalen Moses jumps in. Like, that's guys sticking up for each other, and guys competing for each other is what we like to see. And when it's a 16-year-old and guys that are younger, it's special for sure.
I was wondering if you have any updates on Felak or Bridgewater after those scary hits there.
Yeah, I saw Bridgewater. He's fine. I haven't seen Fee yet, but I think he'll be fine too. Yeah, it was a quick little scary moment, and I didn't see the whole play. It looked like from behind it looked like what it was. It looked like he just lost his feet and hit his head on the boards. But I think he'll be fine, which is nice.
Nick Serzicha, he really looks dialed in lately. The guys seem to be playing with confidence in front of him, doing a great job blocking shots, putting pressure on guys in zone. But talk to us about his game lately and what he's meant here for you guys.
Yeah, he's definitely been on a roll the last 5-6 starts where he's found his game again, which is awesome. And he's we said right from day one he emulates who we want to be as an organization, as a team, where he comes every day and just competes in practice. He's there early. He's the last guy to leave, and he's a role model for Chartier, and he's just, like you said, he emulates us, and he's starting to see some of the rewards for it, right? And guys will, that's intoxicating, and guys love to play in front of that. And I thought Huey Hurd had a couple of huge blocks on the kill there too, and when you have a goalie that competes every night and every day in practice, the guys want to win for him for sure.
I thought a real good job by the whole team, really. It was an emotional game, especially kind of that second period there. For the guys, this young team, to be able to kind of keep things in check and not get too carried away.
Yeah, we showed some maturity for sure. I think usually a young team gets wrapped up in, the way that game's going, and there's some frustration building on the bench with how the game was called, and all of a sudden now 2 refs want to be a factor in the game on both sides. Like, it's horrible, because you got 2 teams out there, and those kids between the whistles are competing with everything, and they become a factor in the game. And I thought we held our focus pretty good and didn't get too distracted, and found ways to kind of push through it, and in the end got that extra point.
In terms of, like you said, kind of keeping your cool, staying mature out there, is that something the coaches are saying to the kids, or the leaders stepping up on the bench? Who is sort of taking charge and keeping the guys focused on the game?
Yeah, I know it's usually myself or Dusty or Hales. You kind of feel that if the bench is losing their focus because they're focused on some of the other stuff, and you just kind of dial them back, and they can't control that stuff, right? They have to kind of play within the parameters that those officials set forth, whether it's correct or not. And they weren't going to change the way they were going to call that game. They'd set the precedent early that that's how the game was going to go, and we had to find a way to play within it and not get frustrated. If they're hooking and holding us and wrapping us up in bear hugs, we have to continue to move our feet and fight through it, right? Marco gets the breakaway and gets hooked, but we still keep possession. They blow the whistle. We could lose our cool. We could lose our focus, and not get an opportunity. And for the kids talking to the refs on the ice, it's not going to help them. It's usually defer that to me and the coaching staff.
You done the Spitfires for this season. You still got a bunch of games coming up with Flint. How much do you want the guys looking ahead to the games that you have on the schedule coming up?
Yeah, I think we've got a string here where this is kind of the 8-game segment of our season where we can really make that push, right? And we talked about being in meaningful games coming down the stretch for our young guys to develop and our young guys to be in those kind of pressure situations, those 1-goal games, the games that go into overtime. And the longer we stay in this race, the longer we stay close to Flint, we're going to play all those meaningful games, and it's huge for our guys. They're going to remember this when they're 19, and they're going to remember the struggles. They're going to remember how hard it was. But then when they hit 19, they're going to want to put their foot on the gas and go. And that's how you build that championship culture is right from the start and being in those meaningful games. So we stay in this playoff race. We've got 2 big games against Flint coming up. Those are going to be like playoff games against them, right? They're going to be like this. They're going to be physical. They're going to be tight checking. They're going to be chippy, and that's where you grow as a player. That's where you find your comfort and your passion, and you're able to play and make plays under pressure. And that's what we need to see down the stretch. And then our older guys are going to step up too, right? I thought Wayner had a good game. I thought Marco in the third period took over a little bit, and it's just as important for them, because if there's schools, or if there's other scouts in the stands and they see those guys competing in these big moment games, they're gonna get a look too. So that's important.
Last question. With Dalen unavailable in the shootout, was anybody on the bench kind of stepping up and say, "Hey, coach, you going to put me in there and get this over with?"
Yeah, well, we could have ran down the same list we had the other night, but you know what? I thought, all 3 of them made. I thought Brownie's move, he just rolls off the end of his stick. He made a real good move against Ottawa, and so we put him back in. Marco seems to, have his move down pat, and I told him he's got to get a second one though, or he's going to get pre-scouted, and their goalies are going to sit on that. And then Schwinny goes in and makes a real nice move. But I think it's fun to win those games. Those guys were in the locker room laughing and joking and enjoying it. I think it's been a while coming, and it's good to see them enjoying that.